Hi everyone, welcome to General Psychology. I wanted to go ahead and make this video just because of our class being canceled today. And so with any adverse weather experience, make sure that you're checking your ACC access email and then also the website. It'll let you know if anything gets canceled. And so our class got canceled kind of right before class, and so hopefully you all got the message. Your safety is always going to matter way more than class, and so just be checking the ACC alerts and also the website for anything like that. There aren't really true snow days anymore, and that if we ever have class canceled for whatever reason, whether it's adverse weather, power outage, or if, say, I'm sick or something, we always will have something to do online. And so there will always be a remote learning aspect of it. Class won't ever truly just be canceled without any kind of makeup activity. And so as I stated in the announcements, that makeup activity is doing the enrollment verification quiz and then also reading over the syllabus and trying to get that agreement in. If you at least get the verification in, that can count for attendance. And so I look forward to meeting y'all on Thursday, but I wanted to make this video real quick just to kind of show you the overview. This is what we would have gone over in class today. And so Psych 150 is going to give you a good foundational knowledge for what psychology is, what it's not, and set you up for any future psychology class that you'll take. And so psychology is a scientific study of mental processes and behavior. We'll talk about different subfields, how psychology is studied, and different research methods. And all of those are listed in the course syllabus. What I hope you get out of the class is to see psychology as applicable to your own life. And so whether you love people or you hate them, you yourself are a person, this class applies to you. And so I try to structure the class in a way that you actually can apply it regardless of what you're going to go into, whether that's psychology, sociology, archaeology, history, or none of the above. And so regardless of what you're going into, this material can apply to you. I also hope that you can value your own beliefs and opinions. Everybody's coming in as an expert in something, and that expertise is going to help further your own knowledge and then the knowledge of others. And so I hope that you learn just as much from me as I know that I will learn from you. And I also hope that you strengthen your critical thinking skills. And so being able to evaluate research, being able to see potentially red flags in research, and knowing that all research is going to have strengths, also weaknesses, and being able to accurately interpret the results based on those strengths and weaknesses. And then I also hope that you enjoy learning about psychology. Two reasons for that. One, it is soul-crushing to teach a class that is visibly miserable and unhappy being there. And so it makes my job harder if you're not enjoying it. And then two, more importantly, dopamine. And so anything you like doing releases dopamine. And so also dopamine is going to be absolutely essential for learning and memory. And so if you actually enjoy getting the information in, then you are going to better be able to remember it for the exam and then the rest of the semester and beyond. And so you actually will have to study less if you actually enjoy getting that material in. And so I do hope you enjoy the class. And then last but not least, I hope that every single student feels seen, heard, and is treated like the human being that you are. And so you have to feel safe in order to learn. People kind of shut down if they don't feel safe. And so I want to create a safe learning environment. I want you to know that you are valued. I want you to feel respected by myself and everyone else in class. And I know we don't have an attachment yet, but I hope that develops because if you feel safe, you're able to learn. You also will reach out if you have a question. You also are more likely to be successful in the course. And then also just stay in school in general. All right. And so I hope that the value is reinforced of your mental and physical well-being. That's always and forever going to be the most important. So always and forever, most important. So our textbook is already within Moodle, and so we use an open resource called OpenStax, meaning whatever you have paid for the class, you are done paying for Psych 150, and that you do not have to pay for access to any other additional materials. Everything you'll need for the class already in on Moodle. And so our class is, this breakdown is standardized across all of the seated classes. So whether you're with me or with someone else, you'll kind of get the same setup. And so exams are 60% of your overall grade. And then there's reading quizzes and matching. So you'll have weekly homework assignments where you read and then you do assignments based on that reading. Those are 30% of your grade. And then you have class participation, which is 10% of your grade. And so with late work, I typically do not accept late work. But I want to reinforce that your mental and physical well-being is going to be the most important thing in class. And so you get up to 3 oopsies. And so if you miss an assignment, and this is for regular homework, it's a bigger deal to miss an exam. And so you would need to provide documentation if you missed an exam. But say you miss an assignment, if you reach out to me and ask me to open it again, I will open it again, and you can make up that work. And so typically no late work, but again, you can get up to 3 exceptions to that, and that'll be for like that week's work. So if you have 2 assignments due on the same day, that would count as 1 oopsie. Your exams are 60% of your overall grade. There's 4. They're not cumulative, and they're through Moodle. And so your exams are online. You have 2 attempts. They are averaged, and you don't have to use Respondus or ProctorTrack or anything like that. You cannot do any assignments during class. You'll earn 0s for those if you do, just because class is for class time and for learning the material. And the content, it'll be multiple choice questions, some extra credit that are short answers, and then it'll be based on class lecture, stuff only found in the book. But every single thing that is fair game for the exam is posted on the study guide. And I'll show you where everything is in Moodle in a second, or in a few minutes. But everything in the study guide is fair game, and you have the 2 attempts. They are averaged, and we will vote for class for times that the exam will open and close. And so there is a calendar on Moodle that is tentative. We probably will get off track from the calendar. That's okay. And so best way to know when stuff is due is going to be coming to class regularly, and then we'll have due dates listed in Moodle, which again I'll show you. And so the reading and matching, you'll have one for every single chapter. There's 14 chapters, and so you'll have at least 1 chapter worth of material a week. And these are open well in advance. You'll always have at least a week to do assignments, and then also have at least a few days to do the exam. And so these have been set up for Sundays. That just tends to be the time that most students vote for. But if as a class you would like to change the deadline, you can. You also can work in advance. And so chapter 1 isn't due until next Sunday, the 21st, not this Sunday, so next Sunday. But you can go ahead and be working on those. And in fact, I definitely recommend reading and prepping in advance. And so it does not matter the content, the class itself, your knowledge of the material, your liking or disliking of the material. Doesn't matter your learning style. It is better to be prepping and reading in advance before we get to it in class, because that can actually help check your knowledge and help you understand, yeah, I do get this, or I'm actually more confused now because I misunderstood the reading, or I'm misunderstanding now in class. And so it is very important that you are reading in advance and you are prepping in advance. And at some point we will get ahead, like the reading assignments will be due before we get to them in class, and that is by design to encourage that you're reading. Class participation is 10% of your grade. The biggest thing is just don't be a monster to your fellow students. I anticipate and expect you to disagree with each other at some times, disagree with me or the material. Disagreement's great. That's fine. That's actually how we learn and grow. What's not fine is someone feeling disrespected in class, right? And so class participation can include group activities, short writing assignments, pop quizzes, lots of different things, and that is 10% of your overall grade. You can only miss up to 20% of the class and still earn a grade. And so for Tuesday, Thursday classes, that'll be 6 absences. On the 7th, you are supposed to be dropped. I always let students know if you're going to be dropped from class. And so, we have a little bit of wiggle room with ACC, but it needs to be closer to the 6 than say 9 or something like that. And you have to earn a 69.5 or above to pass the class. Grades less than 70 can't count as transfer credit, can't count for the degree for AA or AS, can't count for graduation. And the last day to withdraw is the 19th of April. You need to let me know by the 17th if you are thinking about withdrawing from the class. It's your responsibility to keep both absences, and then also before you drop any class, making sure that you talk with financial aid if financial aid applies to you. So your grades will be in Moodle. Grades will be updated with everything that I've been able to grade or everything that's been assigned up to that point with these due dates because then you'll get watermark alerts if your grade is low. There are multiple ways to contact me, and so you can email me. You also can call or text, and so or show up to office hours or schedule a meeting with me. And so that's my email address. Please make sure when you're contacting me that you put your full name and the course and section number, just because I have a bunch of students and I will not be able to remember which section you're in. And so that number is a Google number. I turn my cell phone off at night, the ringer. And so if you have a panic at 3 a.m. and you want to reach out, you totally can. Probably won't get back to you at 3 a.m., but you can always call, you can always text, also always email. If for whatever reason I have not gotten back to you within 24 hours, please resend the email. Please reach out again. It is my responsibility as part of my job to have open communication with you, and you should be able to get in touch with me. All right. And also, you're never bothering me or anything like that. Please always reach out. I'd rather get 1,000 questions than no questions. Also, I always say this in class, there are no dumb questions except for the ones that you do not ask. And so, if you don't ask it, then you don't get an answer. All right. And so I'd rather you ask any questions. Again, if you have that question, someone else probably has it too. There are no dumb questions except for the ones that you're not actually asking me. So this is what Moodle looks like. And so this is our shell, and that start here, that's where you're going to have the first week assignments. I'm trying to scroll down. Okay. And so you'll have where we're meeting, telephone, office hours. I tend to grade at home, and so I will leave campus to be able to grade in a nice quiet space, but I can meet with you outside of these times. You just have to make an appointment with me. All right, and so announcements. I will be sending announcements about anything with class, like so when I canceled or when I had to when ACC canceled class, I let y'all know through the announcements. Simple syllabus is going to have everything regarding the syllabus, so you just click on that. This is our course calendar. Our course calendar is going to be tentative, and so I have due dates listed, but know that we'll probably get off track, and again, that's going to be okay. These are the welcome slides that I'm using right now. And then if you scroll down, also, so that in bright orange hidden from students, this is supposed to actually be hidden. I use the same shell for all of my classes, whether it's online or seated. If there is something visible in Moodle that you're like, I don't actually think that's an assignment, reach out because you might be right. I might have accidentally made something visible that shouldn't have been visible. Or if I'm saying something is there and you can't see it, let me know. I might have accidentally hidden it. And so for this first week, and again, because we did not have class today, make sure you're getting this enrollment verification. So enrollment verification, you read all this, then you do the quiz, then you also have the syllabus agreement. Please sign that after you have actually read the syllabus. And what you're doing by signing that is saying you at least understand the policies, you've read the syllabus. Okay, and so if you have any questions, let me know. And then each chapter is going to be set up the same way. If for whatever reason you can't see this on the left-hand side, it's like that, make sure that you click it. That's probably the easiest way to navigate Moodle. And so each chapter will be set up the same way, and that you will have learning outcomes. These are just kind of hopefully what you can get from that chapter. Then you're going to have, so you'll have lecture videos, the study guide, and then the PowerPoint slides that I use for each chapter. These lecture videos go over everything from the study guide. If you are ever out of class, so if you miss class because you're sick, or if you need additional help or additional review, you can watch those lecture videos. The lecture videos cover what's in class, and so you don't need to do both, but if you ever miss class or just want the review, they're there if you need it. And then the study guide is going to list every single thing that is fair game for the exam. Okay, and so it'll have the lecture videos, and then it'll have topics. It's not going to have answers. So what is psychology? But it's going to tell you, okay, if you answer that, that's going to be fair game for the exam. That will be on the exam. That's like first question. And so you can complete the study guide for extra credit, but it's not necessarily worth that extra credit. It's more just to prep for the exam. Students, without taking into account the extra credit, students that do the study guide do better on the exams. And so you can be filling this out as we're going through the material in class. You can wait till closer to the exam as a review to go over it, but I strongly recommend going over the study guide, or at least looking at it to see what is considered fair game for the exam. So first exam is going to be the first 3 chapters. All of this is fair game for the exam. And there'll be a study guide for each and every single chapter. And again, each chapter on Moodle will be set up the same way. And then the PowerPoint slides, you also have access to those if you would like to use those. They'll be what I have in class. So this is the first PowerPoint. As you can see, there's the slides, but then there's also a note section as well. Again, this is not going to be comprehensive. I strongly recommend taking notes in class if that's something that works for you. If it doesn't, you don't have to take notes, but there'll be examples in class that aren't found anywhere in the material. And then you'll have a list of assignments, and I'll also have a due date, and then the due date will also be announced in class. And so always you will have chapter 1 or a chapter reading, and then a reading quiz and matching activity. And so the reading quizzes, you have up to 3 attempts. It takes the highest grade. Exams, remember, are average, and it'll also list the deadline right there. And you can take as much time as you need to for the reading quizzes and for the matching activities. And then each chapter has optional resources for students. And so first exam is going to be chapters 1 through 3. And again, it's the same setup on Moodle, and that you'll have learning outcomes. Then you're going to have the lecture video, which again is only required if you want to watch them or if you miss class, the study guide, the PowerPoints for that chapter, and then a list of assignments. And if there's any other assignments that come up, they'll be put there as well. And that you'll always have reading, and then reading quizzes and matching activities. And so you always can do those in advance, and I strongly recommend working ahead. Last but not least, if you need any kind of accommodation for disabilities, make sure that you are reaching out to Tiana Holloway like immediately. She always gets backed up at the beginning of the semester. And so just to make sure that we can have whatever kind of accommodation that you need in time for the exam, just contacting her now. Also, ACC offers free counseling for students, and so please reach out if you are interested in free mental health counseling. Last but not least, Single Stop is also a resource that can connect students to community resources. So this can be financial, legal help, healthcare matters. And so please let me know if you would like a referral for that. You also can reach out to Kristen Sutherland directly. ACC understands that if life happens to you, then that is going to potentially negatively affect your performance in class. And so if anything is going on, please, please, please just reach out. So again, the upcoming assignments, make sure you're reading the syllabus and the course calendar, kind of playing around, getting acquainted with Moodle. And then the enrollment verification quiz, please get that in just for today, just so it can count for attendance. But then also the syllabus agreement, and then you can go ahead and start reading and prepping for chapter 1. Chapter 1 stuff is due next week. And so I know that this was quick, but I just wanted to create something just to go over the introductory stuff. I'm so pumped and excited to work with y'all. I'm excited to meet with y'all on Thursday. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Bye.